maybe it's only me, but I've noticed that most podcasts now, they are based on attacking women. When it comes to relationship, divorce, obedience, and respect.
Yes.
Which, in a way, it's good because it's setting some women straight.
Yeah.
But it's now bringing up another picture. Like men are now saints. That men don't have any fault in relationship. You understand?
I agree. I agree with you.
Every podcast I see, women should be obedient, they should go 50-50, they should do this, they should do that. No one is addressing the shortcomings of men. The way it's going to give men some morale to continue. Because there's no marriage that is isolated from problem. But at the same time, the problems in relationship and marriages is not one-sided.
And no man is a saint.
No man is a saint, because if you look at it, women generally act emotional, which men should know. Now, most men are using this emotion to push them to the wall. Most men, like over 50% of men, change.
They do. Especially, in the area of affection. The things they do to their girlfriends or wife before they get married. Like taking her out for dinner, trying so many restaurants and all that, buying her gifts, buying her flowers, calling her, sending gifts to her, exactly, calling her, twice, 3 times, in her office and all that, And in this case, most women, in fact, almost all women expect this to continue. But along the line, you see, most men tend to withdraw back and change from it.
I don't think it's withdrawal. I think it's familiarity.
Okay, yes.
They get familiar. They be like, oh, she's already my wife. I don't need to do that much. One of my colleagues was telling me that most men do not realize that relationship and marriages, you keep working on it. Most men become lackadaisical. They become nonchalant. They don't want to do what they're doing before because familiarity has set in. So this is, and women are expecting this. There's no woman you shower attention to. A lot of women that if you keep showering attention to them, they won't even look outside. They will feel so lucky to have you. Even though some of them will want to abuse it.
Some of them, capitalize on it and try to abuse it. But sometimes also, I also notice something about, men, nowadays, when they have issues, they run away from addressing those issues, because they feel, I've gotten enough. And which is wrong, because most times it's just, and this addressing issue has to do with communication. And when the communication breaks, it affects, the relationship.
Addressing issues, like as you said, most men feel like when they try to address issues, these women are nags. They're full of dramas. But it is, to me, it's an excuse to break down your home and make the woman look bad. Because if you see her doing something that you don't want, or she's becoming relaxed in the things she used to do, or the house is not as clean as it used to be, or she's not doing what she used to do generally, quickly addressing it in an affectionate way, right, will set her straight most times.
And some men, instead of addressing it, they tend to find a replacement for it. Looking for a side chick.
They say there are a lot of women out there. You're supposed to build your home as the head. But because of the assurance of more women out there, you just want to let this slide. And eventually, you find yourself in trouble.
Of course, because it keeps piling up.
And these women, people complain truly that they are the ones that initiate divorce. They say over 70% of married divorces are initiated by women. But they forget the fact that most of these women, when you talk to them, you realize that these men have isolated them. I've heard about women that can't even call their parents. They can't even call their mom, talk to their mom, talk to their dad. The man has succeeded in isolating them to the extent that they can't even speak to their siblings. The siblings cannot even visit. If she has to call them, she has to hide and do that. So most men do not even think, they don't even think they are doing the wrong thing, because they feel, and this is the excuses. The excuse is the fact that the friends will influence them negatively. One, they will say the parents also do not have a say in their marriage. This is my home, I'm building my home. But third parties matter sometimes,
Yeah,
in
sometimes.
relationship.
Yeah, in some cases, third party matters because you may be surprised that it might even be the third party that will even solve the problem they
That will
have.
solve the problem.
They have in
There
home,
is
yeah.
no relationship, that there's nobody in this world that doesn't have somebody he respects.
Yeah, yeah.
So if your wife knows the man or the woman you respect as a man, and you know the person your wife respects, it's easy for them to like bring them in and address issue, which they used to do in the olden days.
Yeah.
But now most women are desperately suffering because they got nobody to turn to. This guy has succeeded in cutting them out. And this way, yeah. And another bad thing that most men are doing, that people are easily looking away from, are those ones that are labeled the narcissists. They are inflicting emotional damage on these women, and they are good outside to people. So when this woman complains, they don't see the bad side of this man. Rather than they see the woman is just complaining, or she complain too much, and she will be alone.
And in that case, the man will see, even when he sees his wife crying, he's happy.
Of course, you know there are some men.
Yeah.
There are some men that their wife's unhappiness is their joy.
Which is wrong, which is a very, very bad thing at home. I mean,
my question is, if assuming this woman is your daughter, or she is your sister, or she's your niece, cousin, whatever, will you be happy to see her go through what you are making her go through? To me, they are evil.
They are mean. They are evil. That's being mean. That's being evil.
But the podcast right now are not even addressing that
They're
no
not
more.
talking about it. Yes, and
They
this needs to be addressed, so that it will not go too much on the man's head that okay, she's a problem.
Most podcasts are making men looking like saints now. If you notice,
Yes.
they are saints.
I noticed that.
That is why Dotman Media, we are coming out to like address the way men messed up.
Yeah.
You know, some men will be dating and they prefer to sponsor their side chick and their girlfriend outside while their home is suffering.
Suffering at home. Yeah. I've had so many stories. There's some stories that some men would even buy a house for their girlfriend
And
while their wives are suffering.
The wife cannot even. I know someone who said his friend bought a car for his side chick, and the woman is taking taxi and
Taking Uber and Lyft. That's
and the girlfriend is driving a new car.
A new car.
So you see, these issues need to be addressed.
It needs to be.
No woman will just wake up and walk out of a relationship or end a marriage without reasons. What are the reasons? People are not even addressing it.
I think men should really sit down and think about what they're doing and how they're doing it, how your home is doing, or how your
Think
relationship
about
is
how
doing.
they are doing it.
Yes.
Most men have turned their wives to slaves. To this, I've seen a picture of a man watching TV, reading newspaper while he's watching TV. His leg on the table, and the little baby they just gave birth to was crying in the crib. He did not even go and help carry the baby or pat the baby, and this woman is slaving away in the kitchen. You see, these things that people are not
crazy.
talking about.
People should talk about this thing.
You're not helping this woman. Although they say that the man provide, then the woman should take care of the home, which is in a way. And some women also, they abuse it to the extent that they will ask the husband to do some unimaginable things.
Yes.
But if we look at it critically, there are some things that common sense should tell us. And I always say that, what if she's my daughter? What if she's my sister? Am I going to leave her to suffer? You see this woman living in the kitchen, the baby is crying, and she's doing laundry at the same time, and you are comfortable watching some damn show on TV.
She's cooking at home.
She's cooking, and food, food must be ready.
That's the wrong thing.
No,
so men should really, look at these things critically, and if you're not doing the right thing, just make sure you do the right thing.
And the weapon they use also, rather than address issues, most men, they withdraw. They give this silent treatment. And we all know women are emotional. If an emotional being is not being spoken to, an emotional being is not being addressed,
that's an emotional
there's a limit.
Yes.
There's a limit. She can handle that. So when she decides to walk away, then suddenly she becomes a bad woman. Suddenly she's the one that initiated it.
And they will not look at it as, okay, this is the cause. This is the person that is, is the man that is the main cause of the problem. they will not look at it like that. They will not see that.
No, nobody sees that.
Nobody sees
the
that.
fact that she's the one that initiated the divorce. That is the point.
That's the point. That's
She's
what they're
the one
going to
she wants out.
and which
She's
is
a bad person.
Which is a very wrong thing.
But what did you do to
That
make
makes
her do that? Because there was a time she is in love. There was a time she wants everything good.
Of course. So
No woman wants to, sincerely, no woman wants to be moving from one man to the other. Truly. The only issue is, what is the man doing to make her take that decision? We are not addressing it. We're only talking about why women are not obedient. We're talking about why women do not listen. But you forget the fact that there are things men are doing to make women go through this divorce issue and take the decision.
Exactly. Another thing is, some men, expect obedience without deserving it. They don't deserve the obedience, and they want their wife to be obedient to them, to be submissive to them, and they don't deserve it. They don't, and they expect it to, like, okay, you have to obey me, you have to, do this, you have to respect me. Do you deserve the respect?
Now, even some men are so crazy that they're not taking care of the home. They're obviously cheating. The wife know the girlfriend. They are not even, they don't even know how much the school fees of the kids.
So,
and you want her
you don't deserve anything. You don't
want her
deserve
to respect you.
You don't. You
She
don't
can't
deserve
listen
it.
to you.
You don't deserve it.
And some men, they have this ability to keep exchanging words. They will not shut up. So they've turned themselves to women. And you want her to respect you.
To respect you. No, she will
can't.
not. It's not possible.
It's not possible. Eventually now, you now realize that when this woman now stop listening, when she stop respecting, because she knows what you're doing, or rather than for her to continue in that path, she initiates divorce. Now she's the problem. She's the one. She wants to get out.
She asked
she's
for divorce.
she's interested in my property.
She kicked me out.
She kicked me out.
And
But
she
what
did
are
it.
you
What are you
doing?
doing? Because that's what you're doing, in the home or in the relationship, goes a long way
To determine the success.
Yeah, to tell or to determine how long the relationship or the marriage is going to last. So check yourself as a man. Check what you're doing. Make sure you communicate very well.
And also remember, what if, or assume she's your sister. Assume she's your daughter. If you can do this, I can assure you, you will live a long, peaceful life at home.
No son will expect our mom to go through this.
So
Talk less of your wife when you get married.
You see?